We have our players, we have our lobby. Game one. Oh, this was not vetoed? Crazy, Papi, crazy. Game one is going to be on altitude. Chance. Taking a bit of a chance here. A very large map. Considered by many to be a very Zerg map as well. As I say that, you know, we did cast a lovely PvZ last night that involved Skytoss and involved a Protoss player moving a Zerg. We also casted a PvZ last night that involved 2 gases and mass zealots on 4 bases. But now I wonder what this Protoss has in store for us, as spawning in the top right hand corner of altitude, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing himself and all mate stats. It is Chance. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner of altitude, we have his opponent. We have the Canadian Zerg player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Scarlett. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. Oh boy, as Scarlett has recently been popping off in ZvP, we haven't had the luxury of casting her. She did play in the last ESL Open Cup Asia. Unfortunately, we missed her in the brackets, but on the bracket, we were able to see that she 2-0'd Creator, which was shocking. I was completely caught by surprise that she was able to bring down a player of the caliber of Creator in such a fashion. Unfortunately, we didn't get to cast that series. I believe that series was casted by Steadfast. Steadfast was following Scarlett last week. So we didn't have the luxury of casting that, but I'm here and I'm ready to bear witness to her ZvP to see how she has been able to deal with some of the new styles that's been coming out from our Protoss players. Meanwhile, we do see some pretty standard openers. Hatch gas pull from Scarlett. We see the unnatural natural being taken here over at the linear third base. Meanwhile, Chance is a very unique Protoss, and that's something else to bear in mind. I always bring this up, but when the hero style was meta, when Blink Stalkers and +1s were all the rave, just letting people know. But when Blink Stalkers and +1 were all the rave off of a triple Oracle opener, Chance, he stood strong against that. He was like, no, I'll go for my own robo openers. I'll go, you know, I'll go for robo bay openers as well. Like, Chance typically would do things his own way, his own style. He has his own tendencies, and that's what's fun about casting him. You know, he just has his own flair to the game, to PvZ in certain ways. Very Creator-esque as well. I know Creator likes to mix things up and to keep his opponent guessing. He can be a very unpredictable player. Creator can be. Chance usually has like a certain style that he plays for a period of time and then he switches to something else. So we'll see what that is here, as for the time being, he is going for a Stargate opener. So things looking quite standard. Quite standard so far. First adept is going to be rushing across the map. We have a second adept behind this. Nothing too crazy whatsoever. It's what we would expect, and shortly I'm sure Scarlett will be getting plenty of queens out to cover her bases and work towards spores if need be. First adept does get across the map to see if he can get a drone, and oh, we'll get one drone. Scarlett messing up a little bit there, not pulling it back, so nice value already gotten here by Chance. It's not a lot, but you know, it slowly adds up, does slowly add up. As he does return back home with that adept. Meanwhile, the first Oracle is still on the way. Scarlett hasn't been able to scout anything, but again, despite not scouting, she has two queens that are natural. She's got, or about to have, 2 queens in her main base as well, so even if you don't have a spore, 2 queens are enough to deal with 1 Oracle. Meanwhile, the Lings of Scarlett are scouting around looking to see if a third base is to be taken, and yes, she does confirm that Chance is making his way to take a third, so knows that there's no weird 2-base all-in. Meanwhile, the Oracle shows up and the Queens have been able to deflect. It does get a creep tumor, and there's not much to defend here at the natural. Ooh, even gets 1 drone. Not a lot of damage, just, you know, a little bit here and there. 1 tumor and 1 drone. Oh my god! Playing with fire, does go through the main base, does take a couple of hits, and is able to get out of there. Meanwhile, we have a second Oracle and a third Oracle in production, so this is the most standard economic opener that Protoss can go for the most part. Triple Oracle opener, it's a very safe way to get up to 3 bases. The reason for that is, of course, you have plenty of oracles to do with any kind of Ling run-bys or Ling aggression or a big Ling commitment. As the 2 oracles, they're going to be able to find a stray queen. Can they finish it off? Oh, it looks like Chance will not get the queen. Ay. 1 more pulse is all he needed, but he lost a lot of health on that oracle. Is able to recall it back home. At least he keeps it alive, but that dive was not worth it for Chance. Meanwhile, 4 Adepts are going to get in towards the natural base. They do not commit to the shade. And Scarlett only has queens to defend. She's been cutting a couple of corners, hasn't made too many Lings at all, and is going to be punished for it. The Lings are finally going to be coming out and will finally clean this up, but not before 5 drones go down. And again, this is all very light aggression. Looking at the units lost tab, Chance has only lost 2 Adepts so far for 7 drones. Like, very meticulous, very careful control here from Chance. It's really nice to see, to be honest. It isn't enough to take a massive lead, but, you know, a nice win nonetheless. Oh, meanwhile, he wants a queen as well, but the rest of the queens are in position. There's not enough energy for transfuse. A queen goes down. Meanwhile, behind this, we see a massive Ling run-by. No shield battery behind the Adept, but we do have a warp in behind this. The Lings won't be able to find too much damage. The oracles are making their way back home, but it looks like even without the oracles, there is enough to defend. The Lings are going to be able to get a kill on a gateway. Not bad. That was a kill, not a cancel, so very nicely done. Meanwhile, Chance doesn't want to turn around with his oracles. That will mean that his defenses back at home are, you know, a little bit fragile, but instead, he does clean up all this creep. Behind this, he's not going for +1 Blink Stalkers. He's going for the new trendy thing. So, you know, I'm eating my own words a little bit. I was like, yo, Chance, he doesn't conform. He doesn't play meta all the time. Well, apparently here he is. At least on altitude. Is going for +1, is going for charge, is going for a Templar Archives as well. Oh, so charge on Archon is quite a powerful composition nowadays. It does quite well against all these Lings. And the reason for it is because a lot of Zerg players have been going +1 melee and mass Ling Hydra to deal with +1 Blink Stalkers, and as a result, you know, the meta has been shifting. Protoss players have been going for Charge Lot Archon instead, which can do quite well against that composition. And here we go. We're going to be rounding this out here with some splash damage. Robotics Bay has been thrown down. It looks like we aren't going to be investing into Storm, which is the other added bonus here due to this kind of tech tree. We can go into that with those High Templar. Instead, Chance is looking to get into something a little bit more consistent. I imagine Colossi to begin with, later Disruptors if he feels the need to. Meanwhile, finally, oh, I love this move. Finally, we do see Scarlett is given some room to breathe to drone up. Meanwhile, oh, I believe that Evo Chamber was a little bit misplaced. But regardless, the rocks are being cleaned up and the goal base is being taken. Meanwhile, massive shout out to Baby Lings in the chat for the massive raid. Thank you so much. Hope you had a great ladder session this lovely Sunday morning. Gracias, gracias. As we're still here in game number 1 of Chance versus Scarlett, Disruptor production has commenced. I'm a little bit shocked that it isn't Colossi. So again, Chance is going to be risking it a little bit more. Colossi are a more consistent form of splash damage. Disruptors, you know, you rely on your opponent to mess up their micro a little bit, so it's high risk, high reward. Do you have the Prism slipping into the main base? Nothing else is pressuring the right-hand side, so no multi-prong aggression, just some Zealots into the main. More importantly, the Hydras have been scattered. Another wave of Zealots are being morphed into the main base. These Hydras are looking a little bit exposed, but the Lings come in to support. And these Zealots are being cleaned up without really getting too much damage. Can he even get one drone? Up, doesn't even get a drone. Wow. Meanwhile, a bit of a bailing run-by does get thwarted. These Banelings do get caught in a stasis trap, and Chance has to be careful not to underestimate this. We do have +2 melee about to finish up, and these Banelings do pack a massive punch. But we have an Archon. Yeah, it should be fine. Oh. The stasis traps. Ay. Meanwhile, Scarlett, again, she's been able to take 4 bases, get her 5th up and running. We have a goal base, we have our upgrades on the way. She's feeling pretty comfortable to max out, and oh, she's catching some of these units here. One Archon goes, oh god! One Archon goes out for free. We almost have some friendly fire. Chance, por favor. Calm down, papi. And he has to be very careful with these Purification Novas. He doesn't want to send them out too quickly here. He wants to make sure he has one in the chamber to deny any kind of dive from Scarlett. We do see Chance is slowly expanding, getting this 5th base up and running. We do see a bit of a Zealot run by here on the left-hand side, but we have plenty of Hydras back at home to defend. They are going to be cleaned up. Meanwhile, Hive is on the way alongside a Lurker Den, but Scarlett isn't the only one taking up. We have a second Stargate and a Fleet Beacon. Chance is getting ready for Sky Toss. Up! We have a massive Ling run by. Does get caught out by this stage trap. Baneling's going to be rolling in as well. Is the wall a wall? Soon it won't be. Oh no! The Banelings, they roll it through. Chance! No reaction. Oh my god. This Adept Bouncer deserves to be fired. Exclamation mark. Funada the Adept as 20 workers go down. Ay, ay, ay. And the Lings come back in and the wall is finally going to be walled off. Ugh. Meanwhile, we do have a little bit of a Ling run by here over towards the triangular 3rd base. We do see the Archons pushing forward here. Chance is forced to retaliate. Novas are going to be connecting with the Hydra, so a good fight for Chance, but he needed a good fight, especially because he lost that mineral line. Oh, so Chance is still in this. Meanwhile, Scarlett is forced back. Lurker Den is done. Lurker upgrades are on the way. We are really lacking Vipers, though. Vipers are a great way to shut down these disruptors, a great way to abduct, yoink, and take away a lot of the finesse of this army. For the time being, we don't really have that. Oh my god, no Chance! Oh, his Prism gets caught out on the left-hand side. It will get picked off. Now there's very little counterattack potential available here. Scarlett doesn't have to worry about her flank, and she can focus on this frontal assault. Oh, we see a bit of a bailing run by being set up here on the left-hand side. Is going to get caught by the Archons. Stasis Trap goes off as well. Are we going to pull the boys? Oh, the Bailings don't make it in, but at the same time, the Ling run by comes in on the right-hand side. Chance gets distracted. But the Lings don't deal too much damage. Overcharge is popped. Only 3 workers go down at the same time as Zealot run by went all the way across the map. Is going to be able to get in towards the natural. Lurkers are holding strong though. Chance can't really break on through. Scarlett doing whatever she can to keep him at home. Oh, massive Nova going off. God, there are always just stasis traps everywhere. Zealots finally get cleaned up. And Chance has some time to breathe, and here we go. This is the transition that we've been waiting for. Carriers are going to arrive shortly. And Scarlett isn't quite ready for that yet, but she has a Spire on the way. Vipers are on the way. Even though Hydras aren't the most ideal unit against carriers, alongside Vipers, they can do quite well. Oh, the Lurkers have to get out of here. I don't know about this. The Lurkers have all gotten tagged. The Novas are going off. Oh. Okay, the Lurkers are able to unburrow in time. They get 5 probes for their troubles. But again, they are still revealed. Chance is going in. He wants them. Nice unburrow there from Scarlett. See another Zealot run by being set up here on the left-hand side. Carriers are slowly being produced, and this is scary because Chance has been able to hold on to his 5 bases. Scarlett still needs time, not just to finish the Spire. It's not just about Corruptors, it's about well-upgraded Corruptors. We need time to get into those upgrades to even get a second Spire going. Meanwhile, Scarlett is relentless with these Ling run-bys, and remember that stasis field that we saw earlier? Mate, where are the stasis traps? They are all gone. Finally, these Ling run-bys are going to be able to do a little bit more damage. They happen to run into a Zealot run-by. They're going to be able to clean this up, but Chance has to respond. Looks like he has an Archon in position. Lings aren't going to be able to do too much. Oh, Chance is refusing to move his main army. He doesn't want to move out. Doesn't want to get baited by those Lings. Does end up getting one of those Lurkers. Meanwhile, the Vipers are finally here. Looking at the units tab, we have four Hydras. We don't have a lot of anti-air. Scarlett, she didn't scout the Skytoss transition. She's not ready for it yet. She does have a second Spire on the way. She has a greater Spire as well. But what shoots up? 4 Hydras. Only 4 Hydras shoot up, and now the carriers have been revealed. Ooh, Novas go off a bit of friendly fire. The Novas actually kill the Archons. But Scarlett, I feel like she has to get out of here. No, the Lurkers are left exposed. The Lurkers are going to trade a little bit against the Archons, but again, there's very little anti-air. Chance is pushing on forward. We have 6 Corruptors on the way, but they're still in production, and Chance will at least get this hatchery. At the same time, Zealot run by the left-hand side. Scarlett is going to lose 2 bases. Maybe more. Ay, ay, ay. Alas, she was hoping that Chance would stay on ground toss a little bit longer. Corruptors are on the way. Zealots get cleaned up, not before losing that hatchery. Scarlett is knocked down to 5 bases. This is a really scary moment. Scarlett is on an equal base count to the Zerg player, sorry, to the Protoss player, and that is never a good thing. She's trying desperately to double expand, but these Zealot Rumbais have been the bane of her existence. We do see another Ling Rumbai being set up. These Ling Rumbais haven't really ever paid for themselves, but maybe now's a chance. The probe does scout them. Corruptors have been revealed. 1-1 is on the way for these Corruptors as well. For the time being, they are 0-0, so it's going to take a while for the Corruptors to really catch up in the upgrades and be a little bit more useful. Until then, this is the correct choice. We need a Spore Forest. Scarlett knows that right now, she doesn't have enough to stop the carriers. If Chance wanted to, he could probably A-move. If I'm completely honest, if he really wanted to, he could just push in and A-move, and Scarlett knows that she needs the support of all these Spores. Without them, oh no, Chance, he sees it, he reveals. Oh. Ling Rumbai being set up, there we go, a couple of Bailings are morphed in as well. Chance, will he react in time? The wall is not a wall. Scarlett doesn't go for the natural, she goes for the third base instead. Meanwhile, at the same time, Chance is pushing in, but the Spores are done. Now that the Spores are finished, Scarlett can hold on. The mineral line is going down. It looks like Chance is going to lose this base. God, I can't reiterate how important it is for these Spores to finish when they did. If it wasn't for these Spores, Chance would have been able to just roll over this army. Ay, ay, ay. Meanwhile, the Bailings roll in once again. There is still no wall. They're going all the way into the main. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of probes to kill, but they will kill workers nonetheless. And what's important is that Chance has run out of bases in a way. Like, he needs top left. He needs his base, but look how isolated it is. It's on its own. It's completely cut off from society. It's going to be so easy for Scarlett to deny this base, so Chance really is stuck on 2-base economy, if that. What you see is what you get for the Protoss. Meanwhile, Scarlett is slowly taking the rest of the map. She's finally saturating the space on the right-hand side. She's finally saturating the base on the left-hand side as well. But that's exactly what Chance is going. There's very little creep here. Scarlett, her Spore Forest is not in position. Chance can push in on the left-hand side. He can not only break the defensive position, he can even go into the main. Oh, before that happens, minus 400. The mothership literally does nothing. Nice yoink here as well. A carrier goes down. Oh my god, Chance is being pulled apart. We do have some nice storms, though. We do have some nice feedbacks. Lurkers are going to be going down, but the Corruptors don't care about the Lurkers. The Corruptors go in and they take down 2 more carriers. Oh, Lings are coming back home to defend. A Chance. He is all in. He lost his base. The Lings were able to take it down. Scarlett, the Chad move, is taking the base as her own. And Chance has run out of chances here. He had a lot of power in this push. He reset the lurker count. But alas, he just doesn't have... Actually, I think he probably could have kept going, to be honest. Like, look at how many Archons there are. Against Lings, like, the Corruptors don't shoot down, and the Broodlords weren't ready. I do think that Chance probably could have kept pushing, but at the same time, even if he did, like, what would he have really accomplished? Like, killing these bases, would it have been worth it? It's hard to say. Chance doesn't want to be all in. He wants to saturate the space, but GG gets called. We don't even have a final fight. Chance taps out in game 1. GG, well played. Wow. Scarlett takes a solid lead here in this series. A bit of a shaky game 1. It was very back and forth. Chance was looking pretty good in multiple moments there in the early game, in the mid game, the transition into Skytoss, for the most part reacting to the run-bys. I'm very impressed with how Chance was able to perform. But over time, the run-bys finally worked out for Scarlett, and I do think that Chance missed some windows. You know, before the Spore Forest, there was definitely a moment where Chance could have pressed his advantage and done a little bit more with his army. Maybe just a little bit tentative, and I think a lot of this comes down to experience. Scarlett has been a pro gamer for a very long time. Chance is new to the scene. relatively new. He's been trying to break into the pro scene for the past 2 years, basically ever since COVID, and he's been doing really well for himself, but, you know, maybe lacking the killer instinct a little bit. And here we go. We're going to be getting into game number 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neo Humanity. We have the South Korean Protoss player representing stats. Oh! As this may be the wrong map. I'll get back to you on that. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, okay. It is the correct map. There we go. There we go. Looks like we will be joined by Steadfast as well. He's also going to be casting this series. I'll let him know the score when we're in game. Here we go. That means that Classic versus Innovation is done. There we go, just letting Steadfast know. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing stats. And spawning in the same location, it is Chance. While spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have the Canadian Zerg player representing Shopify Rebellion and leading this series 1-0. It is Scarlett. Oh. Oh my god. Scarlett is going to be having a little bit of fun. She's forced to take the unnatural natural, but she doesn't go for the triangular third. She doesn't go for the linear third. She goes straight for the forward base. You'll love to see it. This has become very popular on Neo Humanity. If you're a Zerg player out there, and if you haven't vetoed this map, this is a very common strategy against Protoss. Specifically, this does provide you not just early gas, but a nice creep launch pad in through the center of the map, so you can go for some very aggressive, very committed Roach Queen pushes. We've seen during IM Katowice, we saw both Raynor and Cyril use this strategy quite a bit in their own respective ZvPs to great effect, to be honest. They found a lot of success here. Meanwhile, Chance has scattered. No, he didn't scout. He's looking for the base. No, he missed it. He checks the natural, he checks the triangular third, he checks the linear third, and finally, Chance, he doesn't know. Papi. Oh boy, alarm bells must be ringing in his ears, except there's no additional gas, there's no Roach Warren. He's gonna have to follow the breadcrumbs, follow the drones to where the base is, and finally, he will come across it. There we go. Ay. Alright. Chance now fully aware of what is going on. There are definitely ways to abuse this, definitely with Glaive Adepts. You know, like the surface area between this forward base and the natural is quite large. There's not a lot of creep connecting this, and if you do go for Adept Harass and you do shade between these locations, you can find a lot of success. It is a bit of a skill check for the Zerg player to try and keep up and make sure Scarlett is able to split up her units correctly to defend against that sort of thing. Speaking of, here comes the first Adept. Does get one drone. Not a bad start here for Chance as he does commit to the shade, is going to be slipping in between these bases and denying any kind of drone transfers or drone main arts. Oh. Behind this, we see a standard opener, you know, Stargate opener. If we saw a Twilight Council, I'd be like, oh, let's go, you know, we're going to be seeing some aggression from Chance. He's going to try and punish this. But no, it's not meant to be just a, oh, not a standard opener. It is a Stargate, but he's going for a Void Ray first, not an Oracle. Interesting. This Void Ray is going to be able to shut down any kind of overlords out across the map, is going to be able to deny any kind of scouting information from Scarlett, so I'm curious to see what Chance does behind this. Are we going to see a second Stargate for Void Ray production? Are we going to see a Twilight Council? Are we going to see a rowboat? What will we see? Alright, here we go. The Void Ray does rock up and is going to be able to, again, just shut down this Overlord. Behind this, we have an Oracle. The craziest thing you can do after going for a Void Ray first is just making an Oracle. you're just hiding the fact that you're still going for a little bit of aggression across the map, some harassment opportunities. We have a Twilight Council behind this, so no second Stargate. No commitment to the Sky Toss. And the creep spread has begun. Already at the halfway point, essentially. And working to go even further from here. There's the Roach Warren at around the 4-minute mark. A standard timing here for a Roach Warren. But we also have a very fast lair alongside it. How can we afford this? The rich Vespene gas. You know that we have an influx of gas here available for Scarlett, and she is using it quite well. First Oracle gets across the map and is going to be able to punish the greed a little bit and gets 3 drones for some hull damage. Would have been a lot worse. Void Ray rocks up as well, and oh my god, let's go! Delayed Glaive Adepts. You don't see this too often, but it is very hidden here. It is very out of left field, designed to catch Scarlett by surprise. Will it work? That is the question. Will Scarlett have an army to contend against this? I mean, we already have a Roach Warren. We already have Roaches on the way as well. How many gates are we working with here? 6 gate Glaive Adepts. That's a lot of gates. That's going to be a lot of Adepts. And we're going to be banking them up back at home, hoping to keep them hidden and safe from Scarlett's vision. Scarlett does have eyes out on the map. You know, the creep more than halfway across the map. She has his own Naga Tower as well. And I believe Scarlett's done droning. If I'm not mistaken, I believe she wants to go for her own push. Oh, the Oracle goes down, and this is devastating. He needs this Oracle to scout because we were talking about these Roach Queen pushes. We have Overlord speed. We have some Dropper-Lords. The Queens are rushing across the map. And Adepts are not the best defensive units, but they're actually coming across the map instead. Oh, and they're going to be coming across here. These Lings and Ravagers are getting surrounded, but there are still so many Adepts. The Lings are getting shredded. And without the Lings, what is there to support these Ravagers? Nothing. 1 Ravager gets picked off. We have more Ling reinforcements coming in from behind, but again, Lings are not what you want against Glaive Adepts. The Lings get cleaned up. The Adepts shade on top of the Ravagers. We have some transfuses going down, but more Adepts coming from behind, and this is disastrous for Scarlett. This timing that she wanted to go for falls on its face. Behind this, we see 2 Robos being thrown down. Chance wants to get into Immortal production as quickly as possible. As the Adepts have still not been cleaned up, they commit to the shade, they go across the map, they force Scarlett to turn around. What's important? These Adepts still haven't done economic damage, but that's because Scarlett did that damage herself. Scarlett cut workers. She is down at 47 drones right now. She was going all in. She was going for a timing attack, and the timing is coming to an end. Oof, as even more drones are going down. Scarlett is being forced giga all in right now. I love the pickup micro. Scarlett has to end the game with what she has, and unfortunately, we have Immortals, and I don't see a world where this army can do anything against Immortals backed up by shield batteries and overcharge. That isn't going to stop Scarlett, though. She has to go for it. It is her only chance. It is the only way for her to win this game. Even if the chance is slim. Here we go. Bars are going to be connecting with that shield battery. Queen's doing a lot of damage already to that Void Ray as well. But as time goes on, the Immortal count is just getting higher and higher. Here we go. Overcharge is being popped. Biles are going to be able to shut down that shield battery, but the Adepts once again are making short work of all of these Lings. The Immortals are finally getting on top of the Roaches as well. Biles do connect and they take down the Void Ray. That's something, sure, but the Immortals, they are immortal, especially when fighting Queens and Roaches and Ravagers. This is what they want. This is who they are. Oof. Scarlett's going to try and save what she can, salvage the situation here with those Dropper Lords, but the creep is being cleaned up. And Scarlett from here, she's going for an infestation. She's going for Swarm Host. Oh my god. It makes sense. When you're in a low eco situation, Swarm Host can provide you a lot of value if your Protoss opponent gives you a lot of time. That's a big if though. Scarlett at half the worker count has to try and drone. And right now, she's hoping that Chance is going to be passive. She's hoping that Chance backs the hell off and gives her time to recover. And it looks like Chance will for a little bit here. I mean, Chance has a lot of immortals, sure, but doesn't really have much else going for him. Charge just now starts. We have a Templar Archives to transition into Charge on Archon and work into Storm. But this tech just now finished. Like, we don't really have any pushing power right now. Chance needs time before he can really work on a devastating army, and this is going to give time to Scarlett to recover and drone. Meanwhile, Chance isn't going to take this lying down. Does have a Prism that's trying to sneak out across the map. We have a couple of Adepts ready to... Oh, no, never mind. I was going to say ready to shade in towards the triangular third, but no, you just go straight to the main instead. Unfortunately for Chance, Scarlett is ready and waiting for him. He's going to be able to force him back, and Scarlett has just been droning this entire time and is getting away with it. Like, Jesus. She's just been hammering down that drone key. Adepts are going to try and slow her down, and well, they are going to force some lost mining time at least. The thing is, we need more than just Adepts harass. We need something else here. We need Chance to make use of his army. Alas, he still cannot, just staying back at home, saturating his fourth base. Storm is on the way. It's going to be a splash damage of choice. And I'm curious to see if Scarlett does make Swarm Hosts. She has the Infestation Pit. She's droning up, and 73 drones is definitely nothing to scoff at. Well, the drone count is going to get a little bit lower here. Oh my god. The 360 surround. The Queens, very nice control. They do focus down that Prism. Beautifully done by Scarlett. The Infestation Pit has been spotted, and we see what it's for. It was for a hive. We have Vipers on the way, not Swarm Hosts. She has been able to get away with that, and the supplies are evening up. She's even exceeding Chance in the overall army supply, so she has done a great job at coming back. Bearing in mind that this is inflated supply, we see a lot of Roaches and Ravagers. This is not an efficient use of an army, but it's an army nonetheless. Jeez, but look at the immortal count. Oh my god. It's crazy. We could do with a Prism here to reinforce. That's really what I'm a little bit concerned by. Looks like Chance is going to be able to shut down at least this base. At the same time, a little bit of Zealot harass on the left-hand side. The Prism has finally arrived. Have a couple more Archons being morphed in. Storms are going to be zoning away these Roaches. Oh my god, are we going to get a Storm on the mineral line? Up! Oh, not quite. The Vipers have arrived. We have the Yoinks on the Archons. Very nice. But the Storms are still going to be able to zone away the army, and a second hatchery goes down. Again, Roach, Ravager, Viper just doesn't scale well here as the game goes on. Even though Scarlett is maxed, we saw how she was just bullied back by the Protoss army. Chance just rotating back and forth between these two areas, just denying any kind of base. Gonna try and push up this ramp. Bold move. Immortal does get yoinked. An Archon as well. Jeez, the Immortal's still alive, by the way. Oh my god, the Immortal survived. That's crazy, as another hatchery is gonna be going down. Slow and steady wins the race. At the same time, Scarlett's trying to expand on the left-hand side, but we have a Zealot run by. Drones are falling left and right, and even though Scarlett was given time to recover economically, even though she was able to max out here, like, she was still so far behind in other ways. In the upgrades, in the tech, in the quality of the army, Vipers are trying to do what they can, and hey, they're going to be able to pick up some of these Immortals. Very nice pickups. But Scarlett is down to only 2 hatcheries. We have Storms all over the place. GG gets called, and Chance ties up the series 1-1. Oh. GG, well played. We have a series on our hands. Scarlett trying to get away with that forward base and going for a very committed Roach Ravager Queen push. We've seen it time and time again. Unfortunately, she didn't scout what Chance was doing, and you know, she didn't really care what Chance was doing, to be fair. You know, she was pretty locked in on her overall strategy on that map. But Chance going for those Glaive Adepts, going for the follow-up Glaive Adepts from a Stargate opener, by the way, with a Void Ray first, I think is really smart. It's a really good way to keep your build hidden and to, again, catch your opponent by surprise. And that's exactly what he did. Glaive Adepts were the last thing that Scarlett was expecting, and they're the last thing that Scarlett wanted to fight against with her Ling Ravager army. Just was not ideal. Oh. And after that push failed, Scarlett was playing from behind. She was trying to claw her way back into it, trying to drone as much as she could, take more bases, tech up into Vipers. I do think that those are the correct moves to go for, but alas, just because of the deficit that she was in to begin with, it was just, it was a tough ask. It was a tough ask. Tough position to come back from. And yeah, GG to Chance fighting back here. There's a world out there where Chance could have 2-0'd, by the way. Again, game 1 was pretty goddamn close on altitude. Like, I'm very impressed with how Chance played in game 1. Still impressed here with his strategic decision making here in game number 2. And now it's all going to come down to the ace match. Again, by no means is Chance the favorite. Scarlett is the clear favorite, but Chance, he's the up-and-comer. He is the young blood. He is looking to prove himself against the veteran. Can he do it? It's pretty damn close. Pretty close indeed. It looks like Chance has asked for a small break. I don't blame him. It's a pretty intense series. Chance needs a moment to get some water, to recover, to settle down. And we're gonna give him that opportunity. As we're getting ready for the ace. All right, what's it gonna be? Cute co-caster. Shout out to Wood Melting in the chat. I need to update that photo. Those are some of my plushies. Hold on, can you see it through the green screen? There's the duck. Up. I have the duck. And of course, ever since then, that was a photo taken a long time ago. I think that was 2020, 2019, 2020, 2020. Yeah. I have the Zealot, the Rage Lot. Of course, we've got Crackhead as well. we need a new family photo, I feel, with all the new Carbot plushies. We're still waiting for the Zerg plushies, you know, for the Overlord to arrive. What is it? It was the Overlord. It was the Derp Fester. It was beautiful. But yes, see, I'm not alone. They're keeping me company. They're keeping me company until a replacement arrives. And you can hear the beeps. The final map has been chosen for this best of 3 series, and it's all going to culminate. It's going to climax in Dragon Scales. And here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Dragon Scales. We have the South Korean Protoss player doing his best for all mate stats. We have Chance. And spawning in the top left hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have his opponent, the Canadian Zerg player, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Scarlett. Aye. Let's go, Papi. Let's go. Coming into this, I didn't expect Chance to be doing so well, to be honest. Again, very impressed with what he's been able to show off to everyone here in the chat on the stream. Can he go the distance? Can he go all the way? So far, Everything is looking quite normal here. We don't have any rich Vespene gas bases to take advantage of, no gold bases or anything like that. Scarlett is forced to take the unnatural natural hatch, gas pool opener. Nothing crazy out of our Zerg. Meanwhile, Chance so far has gone for a Stargate opener every single game, but he's gone for different variations. Game 1, he went for a triple Oracle opener into a faster Nexus, as you would expect. Game 2, he went for a Void Ray first to deny scouting into an Oracle, into a Twilight Council. So we can see that he's got his own tricks up his sleeve. You know, he's willing to be that much more aggressive and, I wouldn't say cheesy, but, you know, unpredictable, I think is a good word there to use. I think if Scarlett thought that Chance would just be playing standard every game, that thought must be gone at this point. You know, she has to be a little bit more adept at scouting. She has to be a little bit more wary of what Chance is up to. We'll see how that goes. As again, outside of this, the Cybercore has just finished up. We should be seeing the tech of choice from Chance, whether it's a Stargate, a Twilight Council, or a Robo. Which one will it be? And we can see, due to the pylon positioning, it is going to be that Stargate. Every game so far, pretty solid choice. You know, there's a reason why Stargate openers are quite meta, and if there's anything but a Stargate, the caster freaks out. I freak out. Bobby's crazy. He's going for a Robo opener. Let's go. But yeah, everything normal here from both of our players. Third base is being taken on location at the correct moment as well from Scarlett. We'll just be droning. Got a couple of lings here just to scout, just to get some map vision. Slow lings are going to be slipping on in, and Scarlett should be able to get eyes on the tech here. Oh, not concerned actually. She just goes for probes instead. A little bit greedy. Usually those lings just go into the main just to see not just the tech of choice, but also what unit is coming out from the Stargate. Instead, Scarlett wasn't really too concerned with that. She wanted to get a little bit of extra value, maybe catching Chance off guard. But Chance was paying attention, saves all of his probes. As he's going to be going across the map here with his first 2 adepts, just to apply some light pressure. We can see already has an escape planned out. Does shade out, just forces some lost mining time, forces the drones to be pulled here towards the right-hand side as he moves in from the right-hand side. Just testing the waters here of Scarlett's defense. You know, Scarlett, she's too good for that, is going to sort this away. The Oracle is going to go in, though. The Queens were dragged over and distracted by the Adept, and because of that, 2 drones are going to go down. Very nicely done. I do appreciate the planning there from Chance. Meanwhile, the Adepts have raced back home to make sure they're able to defend against any kind of Ling counterattack. Speaking of, Lings are moving out just to get eyes on whether or not there is a third base. Making sure that Chance isn't going for a 2-base all-in, and Chance behind this. Oh my god, no! Oh, overextends with his Oracle. Ay, didn't even get a third drone. And this is devastating because Chance was going for a triple Oracle opener. And the power of this opener is in 3 oracles. With 2 oracles, you can one-shot workers. With a 3rd oracle, you can one-shot workers. You can defend against a Ling round by, and you can even dive on top of queens. Oof. And because of what just happened, Scarlett, she can be a little bit greedy. We can see she has 1 spore in her main, but she doesn't need a spore at her 3rd. She doesn't need a spore at her natural. Because the Oracle count has been neutered a little bit, she can get away with just queens. So very nicely done here by Scarlett. Chance slipping up quite a bit, is going to try and recover a little bit and redeem himself by going for some Adept and Oracle pressure. We'll see if he can pull it off. Behind this, we do see a Templar Archives and a Forge on the way here, so we do have that transition as we would expect. This is very Game 1-esque, very similar to Game 1. The difference is, if you remember, if you were here during Altitude, Chance did a very good job at harassing. Chance, I think he was able to get 10 plus worker kills for 2 Adepts. It was really insane what he was able to pull off, but that is not the case here. The Adepts get surrounded, the Queens lay siege upon the Oracles, and Chance's aggression is just completely being shut down. Scarlett, she's angry. She's upset after losing. It was all fun and games until she lost game 2. Nah, mate, not again, Bobby, not again. The Oracles and the Adepts just getting shut down time and time again. Ling's going for a bit of a run by, even catching some of these transferring workers. Chance isn't dead by any means, but he's just having a harder time this game compared to what we've seen before. Oof. And because of all of this, because of the death of the Adepts, because of the death of the Oracles, Scarlett, she can take more bases, she can drone up, she can saturate, she can get tech, she can do whatever she wants back at home. Meanwhile, the Lings, again, are just still keeping Chance busy, getting another probe. Meanwhile, both Oracles go straight to the main base. Oh, they won a Queen! And Scarlett had a late reaction there. Oh, she should be losing the Queen, and she will. Oof. Yeah, we didn't have a backup second or third Queen here in the main, so Chance finally gets some damage done. Something to write home about. 4 drones for shields and a little bit of hull damage. It's something. He needed it. Chance needed something to go his way this game. As he's going to be slowly expanding and taking this 4th base. Tech has been scouted, by the way. These Lings did confirm the Archons, and now Scarlett knows that there shouldn't be any Blink Stalkers. Should be very reminiscent to the previous game. And Scarlett's tech of choice is going to be Ling, Bane, Roach, Ravager. A very solid, well-rounded composition here for Scarlett. If you remember in the previous game, she went for Ling, Bane, Hydra on altitude, if you do recall. So Roach Ravager is definitely a lot more robust and does trade much better here against Charged Archon. As we do see Chance splitting up his army, he's trying to distract Scarlett here on the right-hand side. He's drawing away the attention of Scarlett as he does slip in from the left. Is going to be able to get on top of this Queen, and no energy for Transfuse. Up, up. Ooh, Queen does go down, but not much else. That was a big commitment of Zealots there for that Queen. Meanwhile, we have a bit of Archon drop harassment here on the right-hand side. Again, coming in from the dead space. Not too bad here. 3 drones go down and some Lings. Meanwhile, Baneling Run-By is being set up, but oh, the stasis trap, the stasis field has been set up. Scarlett has to be careful here with her Banelings. Another Baneling Run-By being set up on the left-hand side. Oh, she does get caught out, and these Banelings aren't really going to find too much damage. Again, very altitude-esque. This is what really impressed me from Chance in game 1, his defensive position, his defensive capabilities. As we have another Baneling Run-By, but once again, the stasis trap finishes up just in time. Oh no! But two Banelings still roll on in. 5 drones go down. 5 probes even. My apologies. So Scarlett is still finding some damage. And she's unrelenting. Another Baneling Run-By being set up here. Chance, can he keep up with the aggression? The Banelings are rolling in. We have a storm. Oh. But the Banelings on the left-hand side do connect. Chance unable to split up his attention. Oh. And Scarlett, this may just be it. She's not stopping. She moves in with her main army. There is only a single Archon to defend. The shield battery is depowered. There is no overcharge. And at the same time, the Banelings come in once again. Chance just being pulled apart left and right. And he has just lost far too much here. Scarlett tightening up so much in her play here in game 3. And this is the most dominant she's looked here this entire series. Oh my god. The Nexus is going to be going down. We saw a bit of a Zealot Run-By, but it got cleaned up as well. Chance had a chance in this series, but that is no longer the case. Regardless, I do really appreciate his performance here today. I love how he played in game 1 and game 2. But Scarlett, she's done playing around. She's had enough. Oh my god. We have a hive on the way. We've got a 5th base being saturated as we speak. And Scarlett, she just continues to remax her army. She's going for another wave. Ugh. And unfortunately, Chance, it's just a numbers game at this point. He just, like, what does he have here to work with? He has 2 Archons, 2 Immortals, and some High Templar. Like, he doesn't have the economy to sustain replacing his losses, replacing the Zealots that he's been losing time and time again to all these run-bys. Another Baneling Run-By. This time, Chance will react in time. But even lost mining time is killing him. And Really, we're just waiting for the final engagement. Scarlett has now maxed out. We have 52 Lings in production. Ultra Cavern gets thrown down, and she's setting up for potentially a mass surround or just mass counterattack. You know, just hit both bases at once. May even get both as well. The army is distracted here on the left-hand side, and again, Chance just doesn't have the supply to split up between his bases. He just doesn't have it. Oh. As there are no shield batteries, the Archons go down. The Nexus as well. I said the Nexus as well. There we go. And Chance, he's fighting his heart out. Bless him, Papi. Bless him. You know, he's going for a bit of counterattack here, with this Prism. He's trying to re-solidify his position here at his third, trying to retake the fourth. You know, everything that he's trying to do here is correct, don't get us wrong, but oh god, I just saw the mineral bank. It's disgusting. It's insane. Oh my god. Storm's even being baited out here on the right-hand side. I think Scarlett just has to reposition her army a little bit here, and yeah, it looks like the Banelings are making a beeline for this fresh mining base. Oh, they're going to be going past the Archons. They're trying to get into the middle line, and it looks like they will. Up, up, up. What is all it takes? Ah! One Baneling is all it takes to one-shot probes. GG gets called, and Scarlett takes the series at 2-1. Oh. GG. Oh, hold on. That's the wrong button. Hold on. I'll show it off as well. There we go. GG. Well played. Just report the score to the lovely admins. And GG, congratulations to Scarlett as she does take the series 2-1 and will advance on. Oh, I should. Let's do this. Yeah, there we go. We'll take the series 2-1 and will be advancing on to the next round. Everyone, exclamation mark me in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. Let's see where everyone has fallen, and let's see if she has an opponent. Oh, she does. She does. Scarlett is going to be advancing onto the quarterfinals to face another Protoss player, a stronger Protoss player in Creator.